Hello, everyone. So, I'd like to welcome you all to another chapter of the Python Beginners Tutorial. So, now we are on our chapter number 17, where I'll be showing you guys about dictionaries and their method. We will learn that what a dictionary is. Okay, you guys already do have an idea, which I have explained in our previous classes in data types. But here we will learn in detail about dictionary and also about different kind of methods that we can use inside our dictionary, how to slice that, okay, and a lot about dictionaries. So this class is totally based on dictionaries, what all you will be able to do, how it is useful. So let's not waste much time and let's get started. So over here on my screen, as you guys can see, we are back at the same project. And here now I will create up a new Python file again. Okay. So now I will name this one as dictionaries dot py, and let's click on enter. And I do have this space where I can execute my code. Okay. So we have already learned about different data types. Well, we do have learned about string, we do have learned about numbers, we do have understood what a list is, what a tuple is, and now we are going to learn that what a dictionary is. And dictionary is one of the most important data type which we are going to work with. So this is also data structure, but a dictionary helps to store the value pairs. Okay, otherwise you guys can call a key value pairs. Let's say if you do have used a dictionary before, you guys can see that you do search a word. Okay, and afterwards you do search a word and you see what does that particular word mean. So it is kind of similar like that. Let's say if you want to store a value inside a key, you guys will be able to do that. But once I show you guys an example, you guys will be able to understand that in a lot better way. Okay, so let's get started. Let's try to create a dictionary right over here. So now let's come here and let's name my dictionary as measurements. Okay, so I'll just come here and I will just name this one as measurements. Let's give it up a space. Let's put equals to, and we do have seen that once we're creating a tuple, we were using the parenthesis. Once we were creating a list, we were using the square bracket. But now as we are going to create a dictionary, we need to make sure that we are using the curly brackets. Okay, so we will come here and we are going to create up a curly bracket. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the key value pairs. Okay, so first now what I need to do is I need to open up a double quote, and first I need to type the key. Okay, so let's say for measurement I will just type weight. Okay, otherwise let's come here, let me just do it down. Okay, so let's come here and over here now let's click on enter again and let's type weight. Okay, and once I do have typed weight, let's put out a colon, and now I will just give this one a value. And once you're assigning value, make sure that once you're writing the key, give a colon. After that, give it up a space. Now give another double quote, and now you can assign a value. Let's say I will just WT for weight. Let's click on enter. Now let's open the double quote, and now I will just type height, and now let's put colon, let's give it out a space, double quote, and now I will just type HT. Let's click on enter. Otherwise, let's come here and over here now, let's put out a colon and let's give it out a space over here in this particular side. The same way I will come here. Now again, let's click on enter. And once we're creating this key value pairs, I need to keep in my mind that I need to separate all of this using a comma. Okay, so I'll just come here. I will just put out a comma over here. Let's put out a comma over here. Let's click on enter. And now let me just write few more values. Let's go with fit. Let's come here. Let's put out a colon. Let's give it out a space. Open double quote. And now let's type ft comma. Let's click on enter. Now let's open my double quote right over here. Now I will just type kilograms. Let's come down. Let's put out a colon. And over here now, let's give it out a space. Let's open my double quote. Let's type kgs. Now I will just put out a comma again. Let's click on enter. And now I will just open the double quote and let's type millimeters. Now let's give equals to sign. Otherwise, over here, not equals to, I need to put out the colon. Let's give it out a space, double quote. And now let's type mm. Let's give it out a comma and I will just add another value, which I will put as inches. Okay, so let's come here and let me just put inches, colon, space, open your double quote. And now I will just write IN. Okay, and over here, let's put capital letter right over here, millimeters. Okay, so as you guys can see over here now, I do have created all of these values. As you guys can see in total over here, I do have 6 values. So this one is known as the key and this is basically the key value. Okay, you guys can also do vice versa right over here. But as you have already created this one, okay, you guys can actually put out this particular value or you guys can put out this key to get this particular value. You guys can also do it in many cases, totally depends on in what scenario you are working. Okay, so here the name of my dictionary is measurements. Okay, so let's come here. If I want to print all of this out, let's come here and let's put print. Let's open parenthesis and if I just type measurements, you guys can see I do have my measurements. And now if I run this here, you guys can see I do have all the key value pairs right over here. So the weight signifies WT, height signifies HT, fit signifies FT, and all over here I do have accordingly. Okay, so this is how you guys can actually work with this. Okay, if you want to find what is the total length or how many values I do have inside my dictionary, like how many key value pairs I do have inside that. So let me just put out the len function. Okay, so I'll just come here. I will just put len. Let's open parenthesis right over here. Let's open parenthesis at the end as well. And here you guys can see now I do have total of 6 pairs. Okay, and also if you want to check what kind of data type it is, we already know, but just to show you guys, here I will just type this type and here you guys can see this particular data type is a DICT, which is a dictionary. Okay, so let's come here. Let's just close this down here as well. And from here, if you want to come and if you want to print anything in detail, let's say you want to print the value of of height key. Okay, so for that, what I need to do is I need to come here and I need to open up my square bracket. Let's open my double quote and let me just type height. Okay, so I will just type height as you guys can see. And over here now, if I just run this here, you guys can see I do have HT option right over here. So the same way, if I just type weight and if I run this code here, you guys can see I do have the value of the weight key right over here. Okay, so if you want to view this, you guys can come here and you guys can put out the key and you will be able to see the value which is paired with the key. The same goes with other things. Let's come here, and from here, now if I just type fit, okay, and from here if I just run this code, here you guys can see I do have the value of fit right over here as well, okay. But over here, if you guys can see here, if you just try to put the index number, let's say you want to access this height key, okay, and over here if you check, okay, the index number is 1, and if I try to put 1 over here, and if I try to run this particular uh, code or this particular program, it will show me an error, okay. So here it shows that key error 1, okay. So this is how it doesn't work. So we need to understand this particular thing right over here. Okay, so now let's come here, and now let's type to add an item. Let's say over here, if you do want to add any item, you guys can also do that right over here. So for that, what you need to do is you need to type out the name of the variable. Let's say over here, the name of the variable is measurements, okay, like this is the dictionary name. And after that, I need to come here and I need to open this square bracket, and inside the square bracket I need to put out the new value or the new key which I want to assign, okay. So I'll come here, let's open my double quote, and let's say I want to put over here grams, okay. So let's come here and let's type grams, and let's come here and let's put out the equals to sign, and after putting the equals to sign, let's open this double quote over here, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna come here and you're gonna type GMS, okay. So you need to make sure that you type this, and once you have done, let's come here and let's try to run this as well, okay. And once you have run this particular code, you guys can see now at last this grams value or this key value pair is being added in my dictionary once I have printed, okay. So this is how you guys can actually add a new key value pair inside your existing dictionary, okay. So this is one, and also we will be learning like how you will be able to delete any key value pair, okay. So over here we have seen that how you will be able to add. Now let's see how you will be able to delete a key value pair from inside your existing dictionary. So from here you just need to type del, just give it a space, and after that you need to mention the variable, like you need to mention the name of your dictionary, because in one program you guys can have multiple dictionary. So over here let's type this measurement dictionary, as I only do have one dictionary right over here just to show you guys. But once you're doing vast programming, in that case you guys can have multiple uh, of dictionaries over there as well, okay. So now I will just mention, and after that I will open my square bracket, okay. Now let's open the double quote, and after that let's say from here I want to remove this millimeters key value pair, okay. So I will come here and I will just type millimeters over here, and after that, after writing this one, what I can do is if I just run this particular code, you guys can see over here now I do have height, I do have I do have the weight, I do have height, I do have feet, I do have the kilograms, and I also do have the inches. But over here now I don't have these millimeters key value pair, okay. So if you do want to delete a key value pair using this, you guys can come here and you guys can remove or delete a key value pair, okay. So the same way we are going to learn about different kind of dictionary methods which are quite important, okay. So the first thing is we will learn that how you can remove a key value pair as well, or let's say if you want to get an if you want to come here and if you want to get a value of a particular pair, Okay, so we already have seen that using a value, how you will be able to do that. But let's say I will just come here and I will just put dot get. Okay, so I will just put dot get, and now if I just open parenthesis right over here, and now let's put out the double quote, and inside I will put inches. Okay, so let me just put inches right over here using this get method, dot get method. Now if I just play this one here, you guys can see I do have in. Okay, but now let's say if I just put some invalid key. Okay, let's go with acres. Okay, so let's come here. I will just put acres, and now if I try to run this here, it will show me none. Okay, but here if I just don't put this dot get, it will show me an error. Okay, so here you guys can see it is just showing me an error. So let's go back over here, and now if I just put any key which is invalid, now let's put out a comma over here, let's give it out a space, let's open double quote, and if I want to tell that the code doesn't exist or any message as such, the code or the keyword does not exist. Let me just put quite like this. The keyword does not exist. And over here, now if I just play this one here, instead of showing none, once I have put a key which doesn't exist, it will show me this particular sentence or this particular statement which says the keyword does not exist. Okay, so this is how it will basically get printed. So this is how you guys can actually work with this dot get function or this dot get method inside a dictionary. So the next thing is, from here, if I want to remove anything also, okay, you guys can come here and you guys can actually remove it from here as well. Let's come here and let's try to remove this height key and its value at the same time. Okay, so now from here, let's type the method dot pop. Okay, so I'll just type that. Let's open the parenthesis. Now let's open a double quote, and inside here let me just type height, and now I will just close this down with a parenthesis as well. And if I run this one here, you guys can see now it is basically showing me, or over here, instead of applying it right here in the print statement, what I can do is I can come here and let me just copy this thing using Control C. Let's come here, let's put this one in this place, and let's give out the equals to sign. Let's come here, let's delete this one, let's close this parenthesis, and now here you guys will see that it will remove this height key value pair. Okay, so you guys can see now once I run this code here, I do have the height key value pair, I do have the feed value pair. Now the height value pair is basically missing once I do have printed all the dictionary items over here. So this is how it actually works. And by default, let's say if you want to come here, and by default, if you want to remove the last item or the last inserted value pair, which is inches here in my dictionary, what I can do is I can just type pop item. Okay, so I will just type the method pop item right over here, and now let's run this particular code, and here you guys can see by default it will just remove the last inserted value pair, okay, the key value pair, which is inches. So this is how it actually works as well. And also if you want to remove each and every item inside your dictionary, I can use the method known as dot clear. Okay, so I can just type dot clear, and if I run this here, you guys can see that I don't have anything inside this place or inside my dictionary. So this is how you guys can also work as well. Okay, now let's say from here, if you want to update, okay, let's say if you want to update your dictionary, in that case, what you can do is you guys can just go with the name of your dictionary dot update method, and after that it will tell me what you basically want to update, like what is the new keyword that you want to put inside your dictionary. So you guys can actually put multiple datas. Let's say first, to create that, I will open parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis what I can do is I can open up my curly bracket. Okay, so I'll just open up my curly bracket right over here, and inside this one, again, I will just open my double quote, and let's say I want to add new values. Okay, let's say I want to add acres, and now I will just put colon, okay, which I had. So I'll come here. Let me just put colon. Let's give it up a space. Now again, I will just open this double quote, and now I will just type AC, and now let's give it a comma. Let's come here, and after that, let's open another double quote, and over here, now let's go with kilometers. Okay, so I will just type kilometers, and let's give out a colon. Let's give it out a space, open double quote, and I will just type KMS. Okay, so over here, as you guys can see, I'm telling that I want to include both of this item inside the measurement dictionary. Okay, so now if I just run this code here, you guys can see at last both of this item is getting added in this similar dictionary which I do have already created. Okay, so here you guys can update inside your dictionary as well. So now this were one set of the dictionary methods, and now let me show you some other dictionary methods which I gonna put right over here. So now go to this print function, open parenthesis, write your variable, and from here, if you only want to see what all keys is present inside your dictionary, then you guys can just type measurements dot keys. Okay, so you guys can just put keys. Let's open parenthesis, and now over here, if you just run here in your console, you will only be able to see the keys. Okay, so the keys are on the left hand side. You won't be able to see the values. Okay, so only you will be able to see what are the keys present over here. Okay, and the same way, if you only want to see what are the values, so instead of keys, make sure to type values over here, and after that make sure to run your code accordingly. So over here now you won't be able to see the values, but instead you will be able to see only the keys. Okay, so now the other method which I'm gonna show you guys is dot items. Okay, so if you just type dot items and if you run this one, you will be able to see both the items, like both the keys and the values in each parenthesis. Okay, so you need to understand this all are now have turned themselves into a tuple inside a list. Okay, so there is a number of tuples inside a list. As you guys can see, it is just it just have this square bracket on both the sides end. Okay, so this is signifies as a list, and inside those lists, all these values, all these key value pairs is signified as a tuple. So using this dot items, you guys can actually work with that. And also now let's learn about another one. Let's come here and let's put over here as from keys. Okay, so I will just put from keys right over here, and now if you do want to open parenthesis, let's come here, let's open parenthesis, and over here if you want to check anyone, okay, you guys can come here and you guys can just open this double quote and let's type inches. Okay, and if I just run this one, you guys can see that you will be able to assign a value to that. Okay, so using this dot from keys, let's say to any particular words, not the whole thing. Let's say to this word I. Okay, I want to assign a value. So for that, I will just give out a comma. Let's come here and let's go with 25. Okay, so over here, you guys can see I do have the word I and the value of I is 25. So if I just play this here, you guys can see now the value of I is equals to 25. Okay, so this is how you guys can actually assign a value, okay, to your key. Okay, any keys over here, you guys can basically come here and you guys can assign a value. It can be multiple items over here. You guys can also work with multiple items right over here. And let's say if you want to copy all these values, you guys can just type dot copy. Okay, so I will just come here, and if you run it here, you guys can see you again have all the items inside this dictionary. Okay, and lastly, you if you want to set anything as default, okay, let's say let's come here, let me just put the method called set default. And now inside this one, what I can do is I can just put out a value. Let's put double quote, and after putting the double quote, let's type any key. Let's say I will go with inches, and I want to keep this one as the default. So I'll just click over here, and here you guys can see the value of that key now is being saved as a default, okay, which is IN. So I hope this class was clear about dictionaries. We do have talked about a lot of things like how you will be able to store the key value pairs, how you'll be able to use the len function. We have learned that how you can add and delete a key value pair, how to remove using the pop method, how to actually delete the last inserted value pair using the pop item, how to clear, how to use the dot update, how you can use the dot keys, how to use the dot values, how to use the dot items, and from keys copy and dot set default method here in your dictionary over in Python. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter where we will be understanding more about Python. But dictionary was quite important, and if you learn this one thoroughly, if you remember all the methods, if you remember how you can assign new value to it, how you can update your dictionary, it's going to be quite an good progress for you towards the learning of the Python programming language. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye, everyone.